Good morning, everyone. It is Wednesday, July 28th. We just had some Boeing earnings out, and they posted a profit, making a bit of a move here this morning. We had Apple, Microsoft, Google, Starbucks, AMD all last night. And although they did well in earnings, they are not higher today overall. They are inside yesterday's candles. And Apple even below yesterday's candle, bounced the 20 here this morning. Microsoft is higher. That one was kind of all over the map originally, but looking pretty good here this morning. It's funny, good earnings, and we sell it off. Google was moving really well right after they announced, and they are putting an inside candle too. So really just Microsoft kind of leading the pack there. Okay, but let's hop into the futures here. We are moving up just a little bit. It's not super crazy. Let me just refresh right now. S&P's up a whole 2.5 points. NASDAQ is up 45 points. The Dow is down 51. So don't forget, those big names that are down this morning are really pulling the Dow. So kind of I would disregard that one a little bit more and pay more attention to the S&P and the NASDAQ here this morning. Okay, anyway, that's what the S&P looks like. I also want to take a little look here because we talked about Bitcoin last couple of days, and Bitcoin yesterday used that 200 to push back up and continuing its run here today. It is over 40,000. So yesterday we were talking about that's a really good level to look because we're clearing out a lot of that volume. So go and look at some of your Bitcoin names like GBTC, Mara, Riot are just a few that move off of that. Also, I would take a look at PayPal and Square. They may make a nice little move here today along with Bitcoin. Now, they are payment processing, but they also have Bitcoin exposure, and they are pushing up a little bit here. PayPal is up at 302.50, and Square is at 253.50. So moving back up, a couple days rest here, use the 20. Both of them came back and actually tapped their 20s and moving up, so keep an eye on those here this morning. Okay, but let's take a look at a few that we looked at before the close yesterday. Remember, every afternoon we come in and we do a little bit of scanning and see if there's anything exciting. Today, FOMC, so we have that going for us. We had all those earnings out. We continue to have earnings this week. So, big name earnings this week. It's overall just a big week. And we still have COVID, the Delta variant concerns, which is weighing on, a lot of people's anxiety, right? Not sure what we're doing with that. Infrastructure bill is supposed to be out by the end of the week, so says Senator Schumer, or by the end of the weekend. And we have, with Jay Powell speaking, we're looking at interest rates and, more importantly, I think inflation, right? We have a lot concerning inflation. And then we also have what is China doing, big crackdown. I heard a great example of President Xi yesterday, basically saying that he is stewarding his financial markets and his companies. He's stewarding this as a captain of a boat with the wind at his back. He really has all the power right now. So, and I absolutely believe that is true. We kind of talked a little bit about the China stocks. We talked about it last week, 2 weeks ago, a little bit yesterday, and it's not new news. It's just having a bigger effect. So if you do decide to get involved in any of the China names, I would just be a little bit more cautious. Maybe not swing it, play bounces, day trades, things like that. I'm not sure I would want to hold on because President Xi is really targeting those companies that have the American exposure. So, okay, well, that's that. But let's take a look here. We have Alcoa. This was one that we looked at yesterday. Coming into the day. Yesterday we put in an inside day. Really like this, but again, needs to come up over this fib line and just a smidge higher than that will actually clear out that volume. So I like it about 38.90 or 39, I guess, right in that area. For AA, I would look at the 917.40s on that for a continued move up, or you can take it above yesterday's high, which would be at 39.02 for a move on. Again, we clear out a lot of resistance. We'll be breaking trend lines that some of these trend lines here. Well, I guess we broke most of those already. So I think just a really good look overall in Alcoa, especially if we get that infrastructure bill out. And of course, what will that look like? I have no idea, because I'm sure there'll be a lot of spending that has nothing to do with infrastructure, because that's the way it works. It's just my personal opinion. J&J came up on that list yesterday as well. A lot of green candles here, though, so a bit extended, but really just playing this breakout level, probably more of a day trade unless we get a high of day candle close. But I like the looks of this here, the 917.175s, or you can shorten that up to the 820.175s if you want to play it on the shorter term time frame. Marriott, really nice candle setup here. Earnings coming up, so playing a little shorter and clearing out resistance. I like this over 143.80 here. I like the 820, 145s on those. Nucor was on that list as well. I like this over the 50. Again, one that has several days of price action marching up. We have a nice volume in it. We're past earnings now. I like this above the 50 for a continued move up. On new, I would look at the 100s, so either the 820 or the 917 100s, but really needs to get above that 50 for that move, and a high of candle close would make it a swing and not just a day trade. Let's go hang out over here at Walmart. Walmart's been pretty messy, and I know that these options, boy, sometimes you just get in them and they just don't do a gosh darn thing. But definitely a nice upward trend here. I like the look in Walmart. They do have earnings coming up. I like the look of Walmart 145s. So you can, again, with those, I like the 917s, but you can certainly take the 820s, depending on how long you want to hold on to it. But for me, it has to come up and be over 143. I know that we have this higher candle wick from just a couple days ago, but 143 clears out a lot of that resistance for a continued move up into those earnings. So again, the 145 strike. Morgan Stanley, this one we've talked about a whole bunch here recently. Nice move up and just consolidating here, hanging out. I like it above for a breakout play, either above yesterday's close or above that 97.17. And I would watch the 917 100s there on Morgan Stanley. GS has been doing well, and I know a couple of you have been trading that one. I think this one looks just fine. I would take a look. The financials actually did pretty well yesterday. JPM put in a nice little base here, but really don't like this one until it gets up over 154 there in JPM. But a couple there to take a look at. And I know that if you got into Disney yesterday, this one we had talked about a couple days ago for the gap fill. It did fill the gap and moved on just a smidge. We're just above this super short-term trend line. We've cleared out a lot of volume and really don't hit resistance till we get to about that 184.50. So I do like the Disney 180s. So I really like that one for a move along as well. A couple others, MGM. I know that this chart looks really messy. We're coming into earnings, but I like that we pulled back up. So looking for a continued reversal or recovery play here in MGM. Got a couple of mentions on some show on CNBC yesterday too. So we'll see if that gives it a little bit of a boost. Probably more of a day trade right now, but I do like it. AXP is another one I like. Really nice push yesterday up off of the 20 and back up above the 3 and the 8. Little wicky at the moment, but the financials, like I said, has been doing well, and it did close right at that 173.10, which brings us up above this volume bar. So we'll keep a look on those. Again, watch for reactions out of Apple, Google, Microsoft, AMD, which I know that Nate's in, so several of you are in AMD with Nate. And did I say Microsoft? And then Boeing hit this morning, so we'll keep an eye on all of those for some day trades. But more importantly, I'm going to be focusing on the FOMC today and see what comes out of that. I have a feeling it's going to be kind of a boring day once we get through that first hour or so. All right, that is it for me this morning. I hope you have a fantastic day. If you have any questions, reach out. Heather C. at GivingTreeTrading.com.